Waiting here, I want you to think about a few things. We were at Joppa, and I said Joppa was destroyed by the Assyrians. We were at Megiddo, and I said Megiddo was destroyed by the Assyrians. By the time we get into Megiddo, we're in the northern kingdom of Israel, right? We're at Hatzor, and destroyed by the Assyrians. We're at Dan, destroyed by the Assyrians. You're going to get tired of me saying destroyed by the Assyrians. And the question should come, why? Why? Why is the northern kingdom of Israel destroyed by the Assyrians? When I say destroyed, the northern kingdom of Israel becomes extinct. Why? How could God let that happen? Well, you're standing in a good example of why. You don't understand punishment. Whether punishment is just or not depends on the crime, right? We got some police officers and sheriff, I guess, here, right?
Where is he?
Whether a punishment is just or not depends on what the crime is. What is the crime here? You got to think of how God set up his people in worshiping Yahweh in Jerusalem to be a united people, united in their worship of him. And here, instead of going down to the temple and worshiping Yahweh, they set this abomination up. Yeah. They set a golden calf. Imagine a big golden calf up there that they are honoring as the one who delivered them from their slavery out of Egypt. Yeah. It's just an object made by men, made by them. They're sacrificing to it. They're worshiping this object instead of the living God who still lives on earth, at least, in his house down in Jerusalem. Yeah. What more way can you slap God in the face than that? Yeah. Now we can blame them as much as we want to, the northern kingdom of Israel, but is America, is England, is Denmark going to be able to stand at the judgment time and condemn the northern kingdom of Israel? No way.
This is our God back home too.
Right.
We have the same gods there.
So we're not here to discuss how evil Israel is in this instant. We're here to discuss how evil mankind is, including ourselves. And to really appreciate the solution that God gave to us, which is himself, then we have to understand the depth of the problem of sin.
Hey Joel, can I ask you about this?
Yes.
So you notice the cutouts?
Yeah.
On all of these. So I've pointed this out. I've seen the ziggurats that do the same exact thing. Is this not where they would stabilize the next row that would sit on top? They'd cut this out and then stabilize.
Sure, yeah. See how they go this side, lengthwise and widthwise.
Hey, Big J,
friends are talking about.
Where was the?
Here, wait one sec. Go ahead.
So the oldest folks were talking about the ziggurats in South America being holy places, but they've got the cutouts and they look exactly like the cutouts we see over in Indonesia.
Yeah, so the question that Steve is asking me, which is a good one, it's a good one to think about, how similar these structures are that we see as we go from place to place. And he's making the point that it's even in the Americas that you have structures. The ziggurats up in Mesopotamia are the same. So what is it? How did we get this similarity? Well, the Bible answers that question with the Tower of Babel. And so the Tower of Babel, if you look at that's a ziggurat that they were building there. And then they spread out all over the world from there. So what they all knew corporately at that time, then they took that knowledge to, that's why you have temples and you have very similar looking temples and you have priesthoods and you have sacrifices the world over. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that's my understanding too. It all comes from the same source.
Yeah. And also, whatever is true, then we have our spiritual enemy who is the great imitator. And he's always imitating what God is doing in order to deceive people. And so that's another reason for the similarities. So if you look up here at this platform, and look down in this area here, look at the fine masonry for this platform that supported the golden calf.
It's beautiful now.
And keep in mind too, when you're looking at this, that one of the most common criticisms against Christianity, right, is, well, God is just mean. Right? The God of the Old Testament especially, he's just mean. He just wipes people out and he doesn't care about people, he doesn't love people. Or the God of the Old Testament is different than the God of the New Testament. And that's why it's so important to grasp the depth of the problem of idolatry and what the people are rejecting. Remember all the covenant that Yahweh goes through. If you worship me, if you follow me, you're going to get all these things. I'm going to provide all this for you. If you reject me and follow these false gods that aren't gods at all, then I'm going to reject you and I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to turn your cities into rubble, is one of the curses. And so we see here the result of the Israelites not keeping the covenant. And one thing that we will learn, and we are always amazed at, there's two things, anyways, when I'm reading the Bible that I'm always amazed at, and when we're learning about the land that we're always amazed at. One is the unfaithfulness of man. The other is the faithfulness of God.
Amen. Amen.
Just and graceful God. Old Testament or New Testament.
Absolutely.
Never change.
Same God. So the question is how big would the calf have been? We don't know. But according to the platform, I mean, it would have been substantial.
כמה דקות אנחנו יוצאים. בסדר?
Joel, was that the altar they burned sacrifices on?
Yes, this is the altar of sacrifice. And again, it was found archaeologically, but it was transported down to Hebrew Union College Museum. And you can go in there and you can see some of the preserved horns that you see up there that are preserved and that are the same size as the horns that now this replica has.
The calf was over here.
Yeah. Okay, let's get out of the